You ready?
I'm ready. I just took some profits, so
Did you?
I'm in a good mood. I'm
Did you
excited.
really?
Yeah, I had a Bitcoin short in, and I had closed 50% a little bit ago, and I just closed out the rest because I was like, oh, we're at 30% up on that.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, I guess if anyone sees you looking down during the during the podcast, that's just you taking some quick
I,
trades.
don't- I don't have anything active right now that's important. I got a Pepe short. I've been in on a few weeks, and then I just shorted Baby Doe's 3,000 or something, and I actually don't mind. I closed that out too, so I got nothing to look at.
All right. Well, I'm here today with Andrew Sayles. He's really big into crypto, which is it's going to be kind of a good podcast episode. I feel like because I don't get a chance to talk about crypto and NFTs a lot, which I think it's going to be interesting. So, how did you started in 2017, right? Which is the same year I started. How did you get into it?
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, so I was a poker player. I
Uh,
got a crazy story to be honest. I sold drugs growing up, and I went to jail for selling weed and stuff. Got out, got into sales, ended up playing poker. In between all of it, full time for a couple of years.
oh,
And poker players always owe each other money. And so like they were some of the first people to send Bitcoin back and forth because it was like the fastest and the cheapest way to send money back then.
oh,
So I knew about Bitcoin when it was like 15 cents. And, I never thought it would be anything. I never thought your average person would want it. Well, fast forward to 2015, I got out of jail for selling drugs and, I
yeah,
got caught a bunch of weed and stuff. But I ran into one of my poker buddies and at the casino, and he's like, "Did you hear about Bitcoin?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I heard it went up to $100, but it's probably never gonna go any higher."
right.
And he's like, "Dude, it went to 1,000," and I was like, "Holy shit!" So I was doing door to door sales at that point in time, and every day for the next 6 months, when I would go out to work, I would stop for an hour before I'd start knocking doors and research Bitcoin. And so in June 2017, about 6 months in, I was finally comfortable to pull the trigger, and I had a nice paycheck, so I bought a full Bitcoin at like $2,600. It
Nice.
went up to like 3 grand, probably like 2 or 3 days later. I thought I was a genius, I'm like, oh my god, I'm up so much money, and then it went back down to like 2,700 bucks again. So I fired away, grabbed two more. Ended up grabbing a little bit of Ethereum when it was like 240 bucks. I bought a little bag of Litecoin. That was my never sell bag when Litecoin was like 40 bucks back then. Uh, and so at this point in time, I was just building my little bag of crypto. And I'm kind of out there on social media. I was out there for the business and sales world. So like whenever I would get excited about something, I just start talking about it or posting about it. And every day I started getting, 2 or 3 messages just asking me about, crypto, can you help me out, this and that. So I
Mm,
decided to start a crypto group, and I brought all these people in, started teaching them about crypto. Then I started learning more about trading myself, and I was just spot trading shit coins back in like 2017, 2018. And then I took on about 100 clients in my group back then.
uh-huh.
I shut it down. I didn't take on any membership. I shut it down. We became like a hive mind. We were investing in nodes together, flipping them. And then, somebody in the bear market, like 2018 or so, somebody offered to buy the group from me. So I sold the group. I stepped away. The market started taking off again in like 2019. Some guys reached out to me, asked me to start the group again. So I started it back up, and then we were in a lot of stuff early. We were in dot early, all kinds of stuff, and had some good runs. And then we found NFTs, or I found gaming NFTs particularly. I thought NFTs were stupid back then, and so I
Everyone
found these
did, yeah.
gaming NFTs, and I got in this game. I got this game called Crypto Blades, and it went 180x in 6 weeks. So I was like, you know what, NFTs are pretty cool. So then my entire group, we were invested in NFTs. Getting in these gaming NFTs early, making a shit ton of their tokens, selling it, taking, moving on to the next one,
Hmm.
and just we did really well with that in like 2021. And so then we were evaluating stuff at the end of the year and just going through a bunch of data, and we were like, you know what, like the NFTs with the most upside and stability are blue chips. They, based on data, they have the same upside, if not more, than the shitty NFTs people are gambling on. But they have stability. But then, this is when like Solana was like $250. And that point, like that point in time near the top. And I was
Yeah.
like, most of my friends though, everybody around me, they can't afford blue chip NFTs like that. What if we started an NFT project where we provided fractionalized ownership of NFTs? So blue chip NFTs in particular. So we did that. We minted out a 700 piece collection in about 48 or 72 hours.
Oh
It was
dang.
going well at first. I want to say anybody that actually minted 16x their investment, and then my partner, he just was impossible to get a hold of. He wasn't committed to
Oh
it. So
dang.
we started something new, and I had this idea to get I gave everybody a free NFT for my new collection, and I built out a Monopoly game you could play and win crypto. And the ecosystem just didn't care about it. It's still out there if you go to monopoly.cafe. So then we were kind of figuring out, well, what do we do? And we're like, well, we've done a really good job of educating people on how to make money on flipping NFTs and making money with spot bags. And we've done a little leverage trading, but we knew we weren't the best in the world at leverage trading. So we've been doing leverage trading since about, I'd say, late 2021. Yeah, late 2021 is when we started leverage trading. But this past year, or 2020 probably, we really just dove in and reached out to people who we wanted to learn from and learned everything we could about leverage trading. And
Hmm.
now we're doing it very successfully. Our entire group is crushing it. If you look on Twitter at CNC every day, you'll see all kinds of people just tagging their profits and stuff. So that's kind of how my journey to trading came. I started out spot trading. I found leverage trading, and I was smart enough to make money with it during the bull market. But then I was also smart enough to know I wasn't smart enough to make money on my own with it in the bear market. So I went out and learned from people smarter than I was, and now I just kind of run with it.
It's coffee, crypto and coffee, or coffee and crypto. I can't remember.
Coffee and crypto.
Coffee and crypto. Um, I saw on your bio that you plan to build that to $100 billion brand, which is like huge. Like billions is big. Like
Yeah.
usually when people talk about like their goals or like how much they want to make, they usually start with like $1 million, right? Like I want to be a
Mhm.
millionaire. Like that's my. I mean, I wouldn't say that's necessarily my goal, but I mean, it'd be nice to be a millionaire. So what? I guess like what is your plan with building that brand to such a big extent? Like, because it is pretty big in my it compa-
No
in
man, I love.
Go ahead.
No, I love the question, man, and of course it has to be big. And I've been very fortunate, bro. I've had the best mentors anybody could ask for. When I got out of jail, I guess part of my crazy story I'll share with you is when I got out of jail, the second time I only got caught for selling drugs once, but I ended up going to jail twice over the same charge. But um, but when I got out of jail the second time, I reached out to this guy who ran the very first door to door company I worked for. It's called 2020 Companies. His name was Bill Rowland. He sold it for $150 million.
Oh
And
wow.
I found him on Facebook, and I was like, hey man, you don't know me, I don't know you. I was one of 2,000 sales reps at your company.
Yeah.
But before you, I didn't know about personal development, but I'd be on your conference calls and you'd be talking about you need to work on success and get these books and listen to these tapes. It wasn't podcasts back then, it was books and tapes. And, uh, and so I just immersed myself in it. And I was like, dude, I just spent the last 6 months in jail. I don't know what I'm going to do, but all I did is read success books, sales books, and motivational books. I'm going to do big things. And I didn't even expect him to answer me. I just sent him a message to hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
But sure enough, he shot me a message back. And we were talking on the phone for like 2 hours, like we've known each other forever. And kind of long story short, he took me under his wing. He helped me build out a door to door company that I made about 100K plus off of. Then he helped me build a healthcare company that I scaled to the point of making 50K a month. So I literally went from
Dang.
being in jail to making 50K a month in less than 3 years. And then they changed government regulations. They shut that down. He introduced me to a guy who I started a solar business with here in St. Louis, and that did very successful before I exited that and went full time crypto. Um, so I've been around guys that have done tremendous things and have sold companies for 100 million. 800 million plus. And Bill and his partners Barry, that they've mentored me. They've done that with multiple companies. So he passed away actually in 2020, 2021. My bad. He passed away at the beginning of 2021, and so I just set a goal for myself. I was like, I'm gonna beat Bill Rowland. He sold his company for 100 million, 150 million. I'm gonna sell mine for 100 billion, and so that's the goal. And we're gonna do it day by day, week by week. We show up every single day at 10:06 a.m. We
That's
run a morning show to where we cover everything crypto. We stay on top of the market. We call a live trade on the show every single day. Well, we won't push a trade, right? If there's no action, we won't get in a trade, but we'll run a show for 1 to 2 hours, and usually in 1 to 2 hours we can find a trade. So we have a very high success rate of calling trades live. I want to say we're about 85% plus of calling trades live. So that's the media arm, right? I show up every day. My team shows up every day. We have other Spaces hosts. We host our podcast on Twitter with Spaces. We have other Spaces hosts that host under our brand. So our big things are education, media, and gaming right now. So we do our media through our Spaces and
mhm.
our entertainment there. We have a fantasy football space that operates under our brand, a sports betting space that operates under our brand. We'll keep going as the market matures. But on top of that, then we have our education. We run a trading group to where we have 70 people that we've taught to trade. We've taught NFTs. We've taught DeFi. We've taught how to accumulate long-term bags in crypto. So we have that going on. Then we have our gaming sector. Our thing is what we're going to build out. The market wasn't ready for our Monopoly game. We understand it was bad timing. So we're shelving it until the bull market comes back. But our thing is we're going to build out board games on the blockchain where you can build crypto. I've already written out the tokenomics for Risk and Life. So those will be the next ones
Oh,
that we roll
nice.
out on the brand. We're rolling out a clothing line as well. We have an AI. It's not a trading bot, but everything that we teach, you'll be able to ask the bot and answer. It'll answer questions the exact same way I will. So we're gonna steady grow this brand of media, education, gaming, and then clothing, and then even bring other projects to market as well, and just build our spot in Web three. Just battle it day by day.
That's one thing I wanted to bring up was that it says like on your banner you go live every day at 10 a.m. Is it literally like every single day,
Yep,
like weekends too, or
every single day. Yep,
wow,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
that's
We're
crazy.
there.
No, that's awesome because a lot of people have like big goals, or they say they want to do stuff. Like I want to be a millionaire, but it's like what actions are you actually taking to get there? And most people they don't like show up every day. They don't, and I think it's awesome you're trying to actually build a brand in so many different ways, but it's all around like the brand, right? It's all around crypto. Um, so I think that's cool to
Yeah.
see. Like you don't see a lot of people that are that determined to show up every day and to actually take the risk to to start so many different things. Do you think it's the-
Yeah, well,
um I was just gonna ask
I was gonna say I'm very. Oh, you go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
yeah, the freaking delay or the whatever it's called. Yeah, the delay on this is kind of annoying. But I was just gonna ask, do you think like it's been worth it so far? Like obviously there's gonna be some mistakes along the way, um, but overall,
Man, that's another great question. Is it worth it? Because it's been tough. I'm not gonna. I wasn't rich. I wasn't a millionaire
yeah,
off my solar business, but I was doing very well. And to step away from that and go full time Web three, I definitely took a big pay cut,
oh
and
yeah,
there's been plenty of times to just make me question that to where I was like, dang, did I go down the right path?
yeah,
But we really put our focus onto this when it got tough and the game failed. That was a big failure for us. We
hmm
we were building that for about a year, before we brought it to market, and so when we failed, it was just like, dang, what do we do? And we were just like, we like helping people. It feels good to see somebody coming in and know nothing. So it was like, well, the game we thought was cool and we still think it's cool, but apparently that's not what the ecosystem needs right now. We're like, well, what are we good at that we can do to drive value to the ecosystem? And that's making money, right? Like that's how we were
Yeah,
able to
that's what
launch this
everyone
failed
wants.
project and not yeah, and not care about making money for a year because we were making money trading using our network to flip NFTs, get pre-sales, discounted buys, and stuff like that. And we're like, dang, why don't we just teach everybody how to do that and make that our project? And so that's why we kind of shifted our focus of all right, we're gonna trade, we're gonna become do our best to become the best traders that we know and learn from the best traders we can find and then teach everybody around us to be amazing traders and we'll just have a group of a few hundred people that move as a unit and a powerhouse when the bull market comes around.
What is um what is like your favorite crypto to trade, would you say?
So mine's Solana, man. It gets great price action, man. It's about right now I want to say it's at like 17, 8, 17, probably 74, somewhere in that range. And you frequently get 30 to 50 cent moves on it. So you can get some crazy price action. And I'm a DGen, so I like trading it with 50x leverage. So I get in there and just scrape trades all day long. I get down on Bitcoin though too.
Are you a scalper then? It sounds like.
Yeah, mostly I'm a scalper. Sometimes I'll hold some longer term positions, but
Okay.
I'm usually using bigger leverage. Or if, I know some guys that leave 100x leverage trades open for days. I don't know how they do it. Like I can't sleep at night if I got a trade open like
Yeah.
that. But
Risk going bankrupt.
but yeah, usually my trades are quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um there's a lot of things you talked about, but one of them you mentioned like having mentors, which I think is awesome because again, that's not something most people do. Um you don't have to mention their names, but if you want to, who were they, and then like how did that help you? Like, do you think that made a big impact on your life?
Oh, absolutely, man. So, I've had trading mentors, and I'll mention names. So like my business, some of my business mentors, my best ever have been, Barry Millay, Jason Green, Bill Rowland. They were the three partners that sold that business,
Hmm.
2020 companies for 150 million. And the real thing that I learned from those guys outside of how to run a business was how to truly set goals and believe in myself and truly teach others how to believe in themselves because the thing is most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a short time frame like 1, 2, 3 months but they underestimate what they can accomplish on a long time frame 5 to 10 years so
Hmm.
that's why when you read my profile it sounds crazy that
Yeah.
I want to sell my business for 150 billion dollars but to me it's no man I'm on a 20-year timeline in 20 years, do you know what I can do and how much crypto is going to be worth? Like 150 billion is a discount. Like somebody offered to buy us out at one point in time, and I was like 2.5 million for 10%. That's my only offer. And it's only because we could throw that money at the game right now, and we don't have the 2.5 million to throw at it ourselves. So like, I thankfully they didn't take it because then I would have lost 10% on a game that failed and shit. So like, I operate on that long timeline, and so I've learned how to reverse engineer my goals and teach others how to reverse engineer their goals to where I know where I want to be at 20 years. What do I got to be doing in 15 years to be there? What do I got to be doing in 10 years to be there? What do I got to be doing in 5 years to be at the 10-year spot? What do I need to be doing in 1 year to be at the 5-year spot? What do I need to be doing in 3 months to be at the 1 year spot? What do I need to be doing this month to be at the 3 month spot? What I need to do today to make sure my month goes down. And then that even goes back to trading, right? Because with our trading strategy, we start at the monthly chart, figure out the direction Bitcoin should be going because the market tells Bitcoin. Then we go back, all right, so we know the direction of the month should be going. Let's check the weekly. All right, let's go to the daily. Let's go to the 4 hour. All right, we can probably find somewhere to enter in a 4 hour period here. Oh,
Hmm.
okay, cool. Now let's go to the 15, the 5, the 1 to really get our exact DGen entry on it. So that has been stuff I've carried with me throughout my life from real world business to Web3 business is how to goal set, how to train others, how to believe in myself, how to be real with myself, right? Like there are no excuses. If if I'm losing trading, it's not because the market is wrong. It's because I am wrong. And when you learn how to be that real with yourself, you can do anything. And like that's why I've learned how to trade because I've been so fortunate that I found everybody finds crypto in a bull run, I guess, but you get tricked into thinking you're good because you can throw
Yeah.
money in anything and the price goes up. And so like I was fortunate enough after like a few times the price not go up for me. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm not that good. I just had good timing. But then from there it's like, all right, I see guys that are making money out there when the price doesn't go up on everything. What are those guys doing? So then I sought out, and me and my partner Clutch, we sought out to learn from a guy that was, we do these spaces every single day. So all kind of traders come through our space.
Hmm.
But a Twitter space is a live conversation. So it's not even recorded to where like it could be edited
Yeah, like this.
and you can try to pass off some BS. Yeah, yeah, but like, you're not gonna like if you start asking me questions and like I don't know what like a moving average is or something like that.
Yeah,
You're
you
probably
can't
gonna
fake
play that
it.
and be like, this dude's fake. We gotta expose this dude. Like, but like, so you can't come on a Twitter space and we start asking you questions or like you're super bullish on Bitcoin and then like the next week it tanks and we don't see you for like a month. Like, come on, homie, we didn't forget. You were on here telling everybody this was the exact bottom, like, because all your technical analysis. But there was this guy, Sasha, that he has a really strong Eastern European accent, but we could tell he was legit. And the thing is, like, he didn't want anything from us either, to where, like, we had to beg him to help us. And he's like, oh, I don't take on students anymore, this and that. But then, it'd be a thing that we'd wake up, or we'd be already up trading ourselves at like 3 a.m. And that'd be the time when he'd be getting up. So, like, he'd come in our Discord and start training us and stuff and teaching us his strategy. And kind of the alpha on him is he used to work for market makers, and he wrote the script that a lot of market makers use for their Fibonacci lines. So he lets us use his Fibonacci lines. So we have probably some of the most accurate Fibonacci lines that anybody in crypto is trading. And I can't take responsibility for it. It's just my homie, and it's almost like a trust me, bro. But I'll let you in my Discord for a day, and you can report back and see if I'm full of shit or not.
And then I'll edit it out if it. That's really awesome though. I didn't think, like, I honestly don't know a lot of crypto people, and like you've been saying the word degen a lot, so like,
Mhm.
you know, I there is a lot of crypto people that literally, they are like that. They're just doing it because
Most.
it's like gambling and it's this adrenaline rush. So I wasn't expecting this good of a conversation and like you to have so many insights. So I think it's honestly very cool. Um,
Thank you.
do you think that what you said you learned from your mentors, like the goal setting, like how would you give advice to like a new trader, I guess, from that perspective? Because I see a lot of traders that have very quick short-term mindsets. Like
Yeah.
they all think I thought it too. I was like, I'll get it in a year. Like there's no reason why I shouldn't. Like anything past the year seems like so far away, especially when you're like 18, 20. It's like
Absolutely.
so like I guess what advice would you give to new traders who have like that quick short-term mindset?
Yeah, I guess the thing is, if you're a new trader, everybody's goal is to make $1 million.
Yeah.
That I think that was a good thing you said earlier, and so like that's probably your goal if you're a new trader. So like you got to think, all right, my goal is to make $1 million. I don't have $1 million to start with. Maybe I got 1,000, right? Most people can come up with 1,000 at least. Well, where do you need to be doing right now to get to that $1 million mark, right? Because the thing is, most traders they want to make $1 million overnight because we've heard that success story of the guy that bought Doge, or the guy that longed the bottom of Bitcoin with his house on mortgage or something like that. But like that's not the reality for the vast majority of people. Like, and that's why like, I agree with you. Most people in crypto are gambling, and like that's why a lot of people in crypto don't like me and my friends because we call it out and we don't play that. We're here for profits. We call ourselves profit maxis. So like you got to think 1,000 can be turned into 1 million. It's not that many double up, triple ups, but you have to play the game and you have to respect the game. So one thing I learned from my mentors is go out And if you don't know the game, you got to find people better than you that are winning at the game that you want to play and learn from them. So that's really what I've done with everything, even crypto. Like outside of like my mentors, I've paid to be a part of masterminds and join groups and stuff like that. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're gambling, right? Like you can
Mm-hmm.
look at the chart. And, I hear guys say all the time, "Yeah, this chart looks like it's about to start going up." And I ask why they think that, and they're like, "Oh, it just feels like it," and it's like it feels like it. Like I don't know how a chart feels. It's a computer screen, like
Yeah.
it, it's so like you're just gambling through that. So like you're either gonna have to go get some books, buy some courses, pay to join a group. It's just the reality, right? You can listen to conversations like this and pick stuff up too, but you're gonna have to dedicate yourself to being successful at this skill, which is trading, right? So you're gonna learn everything you can, absorb everything you can, then practice it and figure out what works for you. My trading strategy might not work for you. My risk tolerance might not work for you. I play a very aggressive trading strategy, but
Yeah.
that works for me. I come from a poker background to where I'm used to big swings and losses. I can handle a 10% swing of the portfolio in one day. Can you wake up and stomach that and not chase it the next day? So I think the key is if you're a trader that's just starting out and like I think most people like I've gone through this right with my margin trading journey to where again in the bull market you catch a wick on a 4 hour candle, you're making money.
Yeah.
So like with 10x leverage. So I thought I could trade anything. Then the wicks aren't quite as big in the bear market though, and the 4 hour candles don't bounce back quite as fast. So I had to figure out a new strategy that worked for me. But some people are like me. I have no problem waking up in the middle of the night. That's how bad I want it. Right when I was trained when I'm chasing success. I'm competing against everybody, and I got to work harder. So if there's a guy out there that's trading 10 hours a day, I got to trade 14. It's player versus player. So are you willing to wake up in the middle of the night? It's not. If you're not, that's okay. But you got to factor that into your trading strategy, right? Like I factor my trading strategy can change based on the day, right? The past 3 days I didn't enter any trades because like I don't want to wake up at night. I want to get a few nights sleep, so I'm just gonna chill. I don't want to get caught in a trade.
Yeah.
Today I've been boom, boom, boom. Closing trades at the start of our
Yeah.
conversation here. So it's and you want to have fun doing it. If you're doing it just to make the money, man, you might as well just be doing something else, right? Like I love the lifestyle and I love learning. I like getting better. For me, it's like playing a video game, watching the numbers go up on the screen. So you got to be patient. You got to learn the game. You got to find people to learn from. And start on a demo account if you have to. I I tell people that, but then I do think that it doesn't give you the realism of how to
Yeah.
deal with the losses and the wins on the emotional side. But if you don't have any money and you're just itching to learn, start on a demo account. If you can run it up to $1 million, you can probably do it with real money. But again, you might not be able to because there's emotion that comes with winning money
Right.
and how you respond to being up, 400% of your portfolio, and how you respond to being down 50% of your portfolio. And that's what I guess the mindset is another thing you have to learn too. And I guess I kind of wrap up that question on this one is my coaches, my mentors outside of trading were huge on mindset. And so one thing I do every day is I wake up, I meditate. I think that helps too with anything in life, but especially trading. It just keeps me balanced. Then I do positive affirmations. Say I like myself, I love myself, and just get my mind happy, get myself happy for the day. And then I I cap it off with telling myself everything I'm grateful for, and I tell myself and remind myself I'm grateful that I'm able to get up and make money doing this every single day because people struggle with this, and I'm even grateful for the small gains. And that like when I truly learn, and it sounds stupid, it sounds like some foo bullshit, but when I truly learned to be grateful for the small gains, it changed me as a trader because then instead of trying to scrape 50 100% on every trade, now I'm totally okay scraping 5 10 20% until I
Mm-hmm.
get that 100%. And if I don't get it, I'm grateful. because other people, they're not able to do this for a living full time and live the lifestyle and be home when their family comes home, or take a weekend off to spend with the family, play poker, whatever it is. So learn to be grateful for the small gains. You know, when you learn to be happy, regardless of the amount, right? Like I love a 20% gain, whether I'm trading an account with $100 or 10,000. It just feels good to take that 20% gain.
Yeah. That's a. I didn't think we'd be so similar, which again goes back to what I said before about me not thinking this conversation would be so like insightful. Um, but I also I meditate. I used to do positive affirmations before. Um, also in the morning, and then I didn't try. Like I recorded myself saying it because it would take me like 10 minutes every morning, which I mean that's not a lot of time, but you do that every single day. So like let me
But it is. It is. I think about that sometimes too, and I'm like, but then it's like, oh, do I not have the time to be successful? Because I know for me personally, that's a pillar of my success is my mindset. So like
hmm
when I get into like think about the time I'm doing, it's like, hey, I have this time to put aside to be successful.
So I recorded myself saying it like into I think this microphone because it's higher quality, and I speed it up 1.5 times so it's a little bit quicker, and then I can
Nice
just like
tight.
listen to it in the morning. I don't do that anymore, but now I do. I still meditate every night. I do like weekly, monthly, annual journaling,
I like
daily
that.
too
I should start
if I'm trading. I'm not sure where I was going with that. I guess I was just agreeing with you that I think
that.
I've posted like some recent videos about routines, um, and I don't think now I'm more so moving away from it. Uh, do you know who Alex Ramosi is?
Yep. Yep, I
Okay,
do. He's been blowing up everything right now as a recent.
yeah, he talks about how like morning routines are like pretty much a waste of time because it's like you it's like you're telling yourself you need to do something before you're able to do like the actual work, which like it, it's kind of true, but at the same time I know like it's good to prime yourself before you're like because in the morning that's like if you start the morning off with like wins, like you do your routine, you make your bed, whatever, then like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest of your day is gonna be on a similar track. It's gonna be everything's more more than likely gonna be going your way. Um, well, Alex Ramosi says that it's like a crutch, but like you feel like you need to meditate, you feel like you need to tell yourself, "Oh,
Mhm.
I'm great, I'm amazing," in order to be able to do the work. Whereas for him, he just wakes up and he can do the work, and he can, and I guess that's how he's built and sold like $100 million company or whatever it was. Um, yeah, that was just a sidetrack I wanted to get into.
No, that's interesting. I was always taught different. Most of my mentors believe different, but I am of the belief that different stuff works for different people. So
Yeah,
I think it's important to absorb all that stuff and try it and see what works for you. Like obviously Alex Ramosi a very sharp guy,
yeah, no, I
and
love
even
him.
if that doesn't work for you, there's probably at least 15 other things that do.
Um, I want to ask like some topics that are I know are gonna be like popular or people want to hear, but uh, you might not be able to answer it because you're like a scalper. Do you do any long term trading or I guess like forecasting in the market, crypto?
No, we kind of have our idea of where it's gonna go over the next year and stuff, but I'm not holding any margin trades over the next year.
So so where do you think like Bitcoin, Ethereum is gonna be in like the next year or two?
Well, with Bitcoin historically, there's the halvening, which means it gets twice as hard to mine, and mining is how Bitcoin comes into existence. So typically, it creates a supply squeeze, and that halvening is going to happen in March of next year. So
Hmm.
what you expect is generally about 3 months or so after the halvening is the bull market starts up and Bitcoin really starts to run. So what we're looking for is Bitcoin to get a weekly close above about 46K. I think was the number is 46K or 48K, and then we'll consider it a true bull run. And as far as like historic Fibonacci sequences of Bitcoin, if we get that close, that's the mark that we're looking for it to trigger a bull run like it has every bull run in the past. Now, where I think it gets kind of murky right now is, like I say everybody, but everybody that's like really dialed into crypto knows the bull run is supposed to happen around that time, and I'm just a belief that like the markets never do what everybody thinks it's gonna do.
That's what I was gonna
So,
say. Yeah, because like
so
historically, the halving, there's a bull run after it. So like if that's happened in the past, however many times it happened, 3 4 times, it's likely it's gonna happen next time. Yes, but like everyone else also knows that. Like everyone else can see that it's ran after it have. So like I don't think just because it's having is, or actually I'm not a crypto guy, but just like this is my opinion. Like just because it's having, it doesn't make sense that it's gonna run up just because every other time it did, you know? Which is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think that the one thing I'm a believer of too is the black swan events generally play into the technical analysis to some capacity. So like I think part of what you're going to see spark to having bull run is the ETF approval. That's going to be a ton of money flow into Bitcoin. But that's kind of why I think that we don't see the historic bull run to where like something's going to be different about this one. Either it's going to
Yeah.
start early to punish the people that are on the sidelines, or it's going to start late for max capitulation, or it's going to be short and
That's true. Yeah.
to really pump people to the top. So like I'm in the same boat that like I agree. Just because historically it happened doesn't mean it has to happen again. Now from a fundamental standpoint, I believe in Bitcoin to the core.
Hmm.
That I think that the long play is like most of my I'm 100% crypto, so like a portion of my profits every month just goes to accumulate more Bitcoin, and like
Nice.
that's my game plan. Yeah, I believe at one point in time or some point in time, Bitcoin will be viewed like the most valuable real estate in New York, to where those families that own it, they never sell it. When they want to start a business, they just take a $20 million loan against their real estate. I think that's how my grandkids will do it. The bag of Bitcoin I'm building for them. So I'm super long on that and the technology of smart contracts and crypto. But
Hmm.
as a trader, I am expecting a pump in the market next year at some point in time. How long it goes, how fast it goes, I don't know, man. It could go
Yeah.
up, it could go down, right? But like, I'm gonna be there daily, and I'm gonna make money along the
10
way. So
a.m.
like, I honestly don't care.
Um, what about NFTs? Like, what's your favorite NFT that that you have now or that you've bought and sold previously?
So I'm a profit maxi, so I have to say my favorites for
Oh, is that
my big profit.
is that what the project's called?
No, oh no, so I just call myself a profit maxi.
Oh, okay, okay.
Our our project, Coffee and Crypto, and then we have an NFT called Crypto Hustlers that's coming out. That's our new one that's going to be focused on trading and replacing the gaming NFTs and
Cool,
stuff.
yeah.
But as far as NFT gaming NFTs have honestly been my favorite. The first one I got into is honestly my favorite because it's what brought me into gaming and NFTs really and got me hooked. And it went 180x in 6 weeks, so that was
Dang.
really cool. And it was just a stupid game, to be honest, to where you would buy a skill coin and you would use the skill coin to mint a fighter, and then you would use skill coin to mint a weapon for the fighter,
Uh-huh.
and then you would send your fighter to go fight a monster, and if you beat that monster, you won skill coin, and so like I got in when skill coin was like 70 cents, and I had like some badass weapons that I had upgraded. But it was a stupid game. All I would do is like click a button to select my fighter. I click a button to select his weapon. I'd have four monster choices that like based on my fighter and his weapon, I'd have different percentages of winning. And I pick
Yeah.
one of the four monsters to fight, and it'd tell me if I won my skill coin or not. But like I was printing like $500 a day, just
Holy
clicking
crap.
buttons for like 45 minutes. Uh,
Dude,
and so like that was
I'm telling you, what year was that? Was that like when during
that was
the
like
NFT uh bull run?
2021. That was
Yeah.
2021. Yeah.
Bro, like the amount of easy money that I made from NFTs during that time was like that's the easiest money I ever made in my life. There was a project
Probably so, man.
there's a project called
If there was ever
Ethereum.
a top sign,
If what?
if there was ever a top sign, it's how easy the money was at NFTs at that point in time.
There was a project called Ethereum Towers. And I'm wearing a V Friends shirt right now. Loyal Lobster or whatever it is. So I was in the V Friends Discord group. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I bought it. I bought a Dapper Dino, which was Gary's like I forgot what it's called. It's his first project that he like helped them launch. Like he supported them or something like that. So I was like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
love Gary. I can't afford a V Friend. I can afford a Dapper Dino. So I bought like two of them, and it came with a bunch of perks. And one of the perks was like uh, Ethereum Towers. It was somehow related. So everyone that had a Dapper Dino had an opportunity to win Ethereum Tower NFT. And so I was one of the lucky few who won an Ethereum Towers NFT. But
That's tight.
not only that, I joined their Discord before that, and they're giving away NFTs to people who are the most active. And I was like, okay, the NFTs are selling for like over $1,000 right now. I'm like, all I have to do is be in this Discord and like be helpful and like contribute, and like I can get this NFT, and like that's what happened. So I won. So I got two of them, and I sold it, and I made like 3K just for like spending a couple
That's
hours
tight.
a day like in a
That's awesome.
community talking to people, um, and I don't know. It's just it's crazy. Now it's like most projects, they've gone down a lot, very slowly over time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess leads me to my next question. Um, I don't think they are, but most people think NFTs are a scam or were a scam, or that they were like a bubble. What is your thought on that?
So I believe in the technology. I'm not 100% convinced we're gonna make money like we did in 2021 ever again.
Yeah,
I think that was an irrepeatable bubble. Just to be real, because like you can only have so many communities. Like that was the utility behind every NFT. Give me a
yeah,
few $100 or a few $1,000 and you can join my community. And then like at
just
first I was sold on it because like there was one called the Generate Ape Academy, and it was a blue chip on Solana. And I remember like when I was like this is a lot for me. I'm gonna trade my way up to it, and I finally got it, and I get in the Discord, and like I'm thinking all this brilliant conversation is gonna be going down. And it's just a bunch of idiots, and I'm like, this is what people are paying like $8,000 for, and so I held it for a trade after that, and we got out of it, but it was. It was very underwhelming, and I think that's just maybe the word to sum up in their NFTs as a whole is underwhelming, right? Like it, the tech is amazing. It's awesome to use NFTs for a community, but we don't need a million of them. I think the
yeah,
blue chip communities are already established. Maybe a few more will pop up. I think you can have your lower level communities, but I'm not paying to join a lower level community. If you want to give me a free NFT, yeah, I'll join your community. But like, I'm not paying $200 to join a community. I don't need it. I think NFTs and games can be amazing, but
hmm
I think the big thing that we see in crypto is overcompensation to respond to the overcompensation. Like we saw it in DeFi to start with, to where we've always known that banks screw us with our 0.001% interest or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
now we get decentralized finance, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do 10,000% interest. It's gonna work, trust me. And like it works for like 3 days, and so like we've had that overcompensation, but then reversion back to the mean, to where it's like, yeah, with DeFi and liquidity pools, 60 to 80% is very doable. Because you have fees of people trade in and out of both assets. That's a whole conversation we get into. But we've had reversion to the mean there. Then we saw the same thing in gaming, to where it's like, dude, we've been paying game developers all this money. Every game we buy, there's downloadable content that we have to keep buying, this and that. And so it's like, oh, well, there's NFT games. We're just gonna make it where any idiot can click buttons for 45 minutes and make $500 a day. And it's like, that's not sustainable either. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see that reversion back again to the mean, to where like I haven't played games in forever, but my kid, he recently wanted to start playing Xbox. He's 8 and stuff, so we went out and got like Battlefield and Call of Duty, and
Hmm.
I was hyped because I got like the Battlefield and the granted they were like, I guess they're not the new ones because the newer ones are about to come out, but it was $12 for 2 games. I'm like, this is awesome. And so then like I was like, yeah, dude. So then we get in the game, and all the guns I want to buy, well, I gotta pay like $12 for this gun. Then if I want the sniper rifle with this attachment, I gotta pay like another $15 for that. And I'm like, dude, this sucks. And I was like, do you know how cool this would be though? To where
Yeah.
if I could go on a marketplace, buy the gun that was an NFT that somebody else had already had you, or I can play the game. Right, I'm playing. We've been playing the game and getting new stuff too. But I can play the game for like 48 hours probably and get some cool guns. But like me, I'm willing to go out and pay the money to get that gun that's already been upgraded. And I'd pay $50 for it, just knowing that when I was done, maybe I can go sell it for $30 again. So I think
Mm, yeah.
NFTs, as far as token gated access, are gonna be great. That we just went too hard with it, and I think NFTs for ownership of digital content, or within gaming and even other metaverse type places, is gonna be amazing. It'll be the future of stuff, and it'll be where like, hey, I don't I like to play the video games when I trade a little bit now because my kid got me hooked on them, but I don't want to play all day, but I'd like to just kick some ass when I play the game, and I'd pay $50 for a gun that was totally decked out, and you could even go a step deeper, and maybe like the best streamer ever had that gun before. So since it's on the blockchain, we can trace the ownership back to this particular streamer. Wow, well, this gun has a type of value, or like, I don't want to
Yeah.
wish anything on anybody, but like imagine a streamer that passed away or something. It's like, well, now, wow,
It's
this
this
this streamer,
legendary.
this gun belonged to a dude. Yeah, and so like that's what NFTs should be used for. So like I think NFTs are gonna be around. Are they a bubble? No. Are DGens gonna make a ton of money off them this time around? Probably not. I think the tech's gonna be used, but most stuff isn't. Unless you're savvy, you're probably not just gonna print money on. Like I don't think we'll ever print money how we did then. Like it was probably the easiest money ever, like you said.
Yeah. Um, Back to crypto. Do you think that crypto is ever gonna uh I don't know if I'm wording this the right way, because I know there's some talks about like crypto being like the main currency in the world. Do you ever think that crypto is gonna like replace the dollar, I guess?
I do, in an extent, right? We know CBDCs are being made right now, and that's just going to be a digital currency. But it is interesting because we've had El Salvador. They already made Bitcoin a legal tender, and it's
Hmm.
going to make sense for a lot of other countries to start following suit there. So what I think happens is Bitcoin eventually just gets recognized as digital gold, to where you'll start seeing all these countries have their own digital currency, but the global demand will be currency that's actually backed by Bitcoin. And so the thing will be like, oh, well,
Hmm.
our country has X percentage of Bitcoin that's in the circulating supply, and we have X amount of our digital dollars that are backed by that. So I think that's where it ends up. I don't think it's a thing to where, like, me and you are swiping a card and making a quick Bitcoin transaction with each other. I think it'd just be like with gold, right? I'm not going to go to Subway and buy a sandwich with gold. I'm probably not going to go buy a sandwich with my Bitcoin either.
Okay, I guess that's a good point. You're not gonna pull out a gold bar and start shaving some of it off to
Here you go, good sir.
like back in the old days, paying with like gold coins.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think it'll be a pillar of the financial system in some capacity, but I don't think it's gonna be what we transact with.
okay. Do you have any crazy? I'm sure you have some crazy like experiences and stories with NFTs or crypto. What is, I guess, what is like your top one?
Man, top crazy story. I told you I guess my I caught you know I caught some big NFT runs. I caught the Luna short. I did really well shorting
Oh,
Luna.
wait, is that the one that in like a day or something it just drops like all
Y-
the way down?
Yeah, it went from like $100 to cents. I didn't catch the whole thing, but
That's awesome.
I did very I caught it a few times, and then the last time I thought I got liquidated, but the exchange just closed out everybody's trades on it and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was talking to my buddy. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm up like 500%, and then all of a sudden I was like, hold on, I got liquidated, and then I was like, hold on, I didn't get an email. And then I was like, I was looking and I got another email and it was like, yeah, we're not, due to volatility, we're not letting anybody trade Luna right now. But
Mm.
I guess that was a crazy story of mine. I've never had, so I guess kind of my story of bad crazy, which is kind of a good one, is it was I was in the gaming NFTs, and then there was this one game that was coming out that you had to have tokens for, and you would buy the tokens and use the tokens to mint the gaming items. And so I knew that it was supposed to mint about 3 o'clock, and I'm in this telegram, and 2 o'clock comes around, and I see that telegram go off saying minting has started or pre-sale has started. That X amount has already went, and I was like, dang, I must have had the time zone wrong. So I go and I check the telegram. It's got a lot of mutual people in it. So I
Oh.
go to the link to the pre-sale site, and I didn't. Like it's moving so fast that I didn't think I was gonna get my buy-in. So I was on B and B was like $500 at this point in time. So I'm like, boom, I got it, and like it had stopped moving, and I was like, dang, I might be able to get it. I was only gonna fire one B at it. But then I was like, you know what? I could probably get another one off. So I fired another B at it, and so then I'm like, I'm hyped, and so I pick up my phone and I'm about to go back to the Telegram and tell everybody, yeah, I fired two B at it. And then I notice I'm in two group chats of the same one.
Yeah.
And these savvy EMFers, they built a group chat that looked exactly the same. They got me for two B. So that's the one
Dang.
time I've ever been got by something in crypto. These dudes ran up like 350K in B in like
Holy
20
crap.
minutes. So and they were probably from like a third world country. So congratulations to them, man. Hopefully they're living like millionaires now.
That's the other thing. So many scams with, I mean, obviously in the crypto trading world, that's been going around, but in NFTs, so many scams from people just starting projects, making it look legit, and then doing like, what is it called? Rug pulls, where they would just disappear. They would
Yeah,
mint it,
yeah,
a bunch of people would buy it, and the next day they were gone. And they made like a million, whatever
yep,
bucks. And
yeah,
then the scams where it's like what you said, they make it look like it's a existing NFT that's about to be minted or whatever, and then some people they get excited, they see it, it's moving so quickly that they buy it, and like the amount of money that's
yep.
been made through scams, like I'm curious actually what that amount is, like how many people in India or
Hundreds of millions.
overseas wherever they're like living like kings right now, because like literally they just had to spend a couple hours putting some fake project together, and like I actually bought. I was in a rug pull project. I think it was my first. I think this might have been my first NFT I bought. It was called Crypto Trolls. So it was
Yeah,
the troll face, the like legendary
yeah.
meme troll face. It was that, but it was a bunch of different variations, like different backgrounds, different. So I was like, "Oh, dude, this is so cool!" And a lot of people thought the same thing. It seemed legit. Like I joined the Discord. It was a bunch of like, cool, relatively cool, like just funny, like whatever. A bunch of people that loved memes. And yeah, I mean, I bought two, I think. Yeah, I bought two. I think it was like $50 or less. But yeah, he disappeared like right after, and yeah, that sucked. But um,
It
yeah,
happens.
so if you're watching this,
Enjoy the $100.
yeah, you owe me. I'll put my Venmo and you can send me my money back.
Nah,
Do
man,
you?
that's why I was gonna say that's why NFTs get a bad name. Is
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of scams like that to where people rug it, they mint it out and run off with the money. But then I will say that there is a big chunk of them that get labeled rugs to where it was really just a failed business to where
Yeah.
the the people didn't know how to run a business. They had an idea, it didn't work out. A lot of it is just kids that are 20, 22 years old, and they think they know how to run a business, but they just been around NFTs. But a lot of people have never ran real world businesses, so they come in and they don't know how to plan for stuff, and so like those get labeled a scam, but they're not really a scam. They're just a failure. And so like I think that's one thing we need to kind of be more tolerant of in the space is like obviously we need to hammer down the scammers, make sure they never come back. But then the failures, hey, you failed. You invested in a failed business. If you invested in a tech company, it didn't work out. You're not going to call the guy a scammer. His company didn't work. It is what it is.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, that's why I invested in the Dapper Dinos, and I still have it. I should have sold it. I mean, anyone that has an NFT and like you're probably like a bag holder because like none of them have been going up in value. But yeah, it was backed by Gary
I
V.
don't hold NFTs long.
Yeah. Um, so I was like, I love Gary V. He obviously knows what he's doing. Uh, I don't
Yep.
I don't know if V friends are still holding their value or not. But yeah, that was the reason
I'm not sure to be honest.
I want to go back to something that I just remembered I didn't ask you. That I think is a good point. Because a lot of like successful people, they have like really rough beginnings. So do you think like being in prison, was it prison or jail? There's a difference, right?
It,
Prison.
it, it was jail, but I did 6 months and 5 months, so it was plenty for me.
Yeah. So do you think going through that like that uh affected your life a lot, like put you on a trajectory where you never wanted to be in that situation again?
It did, man. I guess it honestly goes back to it really helped me learn to be grateful because like both times when I went to jail, I was being successful in the sales world. I was
Hmm.
running sales teams and making good money, but my past had just caught up to me at that point in time. When you catch a drug charge, it can take years before you even get charged. So I
Oh,
had started turning my
that
life around
sucks.
already. Um, yeah, and then the second time it was I got offered a big promotion to go to Florida while I was on probation. I grew up poor as shit in the middle of St. Louis. The girl I was dating at that time, though, she grew up on a golf course outside of St. Louis. Her dad drove a Porsche. Her and her mom drove Benzes. She told it was gonna be my first chance to go, make 100K plus in a year. So she told me to pick between the job and her. I picked the job. I went to Florida. I met my current girlfriend. We had a baby. My ex saw on Facebook I had a baby with another girl and called my PO and told her I was working out of state because I was flying back and forth every month for appointments.
Dang.
So in 2015 is when I got extradited from Florida, and or 2016, I'm sorry, and I did 6 months in jail that time. And so like I was a regional sales manager, so like I went from a pretty chill life in Florida to coming back to a Missouri jail, and so
That
yeah, it
sucks.
was. I never wanna be in this situation. I I know what I'm capable of, and I've met these people that have done amazing things. I just want to make sure I do them. And so like it's given me that hunger to where like I was like I knew when I was getting out I was going straight back to door because that's just what I was good at sales wise. Um, but it was like, you know what, there were plenty of times to where I cut out early, knocking doors before that, and even
Mm-hmm.
after I had success, to where it's like, oh, it's hot, I got enough, I'm gonna go in late, whatever it is, I'm that dude, I can do it. But man, I remember being in that jail cell and be like, you know what, I wish I could knock some doors right now. This sucks. And so when I got out, I kept that attitude with everything I do, to where like, like I'm sure there's a dude in jail right now that wishes he could pick his phone up and make some trades for $100, right? There's somebody probably listening that they're like, yeah, but I only got $100 I can trade with. Well, there's a dude in jail that probably traded $1 million at some point in time, and he scammed a bunch of people. But that's a different story. But he probably traded $1 million,
Yeah.
and he would love to trade with $100 and try
Yeah.
to move it up right now. And you have that opportunity to do it. And so that's always been my mindset, to where like I'm gonna find a way. I don't care. There's always an opportunity there. I'm going to create one if there's not. And that's the beauty, I think, of crypto in general. Is there's so much opportunity in the space. If you want to learn NFTs, there's opportunity there. If you want to learn DeFi, there's opportunity there. If you want to learn trading, there's opportunity there. If you just want to continually buy the crypto and wait for the price to go up, there's opportunity there too. So I that's what it taught me is be grateful for every opportunity you have, and just take it and run with it. Like that's why I say like, I want this shit bad enough to where I wake up at 2 a.m. to get trades in, just because like I know I have the opportunity right now to really build something for what I believe is going to be an insane run in 2 years, and then I'll do so well. Then I'm done. I'll retire at that point in time. So yeah, just really made me be grateful and learn to capture opportunity.
Yeah, that's so awesome because it's so true that there's so many people, not even just in jail, but think of all the people that don't even have access to like internet or like clean water. Like like Gary Vee talks a lot about like
Yeah.
the amount of people that don't, the millions of people that don't have access to clean water. Like just that fact alone, that I live in my own place, I have electricity, I have water, I have food, I have a job, like so many things that I can be grateful for. And I think that's another area where we are like similar. You talked about earlier too, the gratitude. I try to also wake up and like when I'm brushing my teeth, I don't set aside time specifically for it. When I'm brushing my teeth, I try to think of three things I'm grateful for. Um, and
That's
usually,
good though.
yeah, usually it's my health and like all those things I just said, like so many things. And I think um, that's one of the reasons I've struggled. I've struggled in the
Right.
past is because I've never been in such a bad situation. I've never been in jail, so I don't have like my life hasn't been perfect, but I've never been in a situation where I'm sitting in a jail cell thinking like, man, I wish I was back at work or something. Uh, which what, like it's true, like, and that's why you see, I think, so many successful people, they have these really tough beginnings, because it's like sometimes it takes like an experience like that to give you like the fire, the initial motivation to have you be like, bro, no matter what, like even if I have the worst day in the world, at least I'm not like in jail or back where I was a year ago. And
Right.
so that just pushes you even more. And since I've never had that, it's sometimes hard to not uh to push myself, because it's like like I just said, I have all those things. Like I can be comfortable without pushing myself, if that makes sense. So like,
Well, comfort is the enemy of achievement. So I guess for me, coming from nothing, and really not having nothing not that long ago, like 2016 isn't long ago when I got out of jail. So like I don't want to go back to nothing, and so like that's why like I have that hunger. So
yeah.
if you can find yourself to find a way to get out of your comfort zone, man, that's a personal road you got to go down. But for like me, my comfort zone used to just be being in my own city. Like I was a good sales guy, but I turned down promotions for a while because I was like, nah, I don't want to travel. Because in my mind, I would travel and I'd leave, and all my friends would advance, and like it wouldn't be the same. But then,
Yeah.
one day I finally just did it, and I started traveling and really advanced my career. And then I came home and stuff was just to stay with my friends, but like I had to get out of that comfort zone and get on the road and put myself in a tough situation to where, hey, I know if this check's shitty, I can't go to mom's house and make sure I'm grabbing lunch every day. I'm on the road with no money. I'm in Oregon. She's in
Yeah.
Missouri,
Yeah.
so. Uh, that was that was good for me, getting me out of my comfort zone there and really helping to be a leader and grow as a man and stuff. So I think you got to find a way to get out of your comfort zone, man. Whether it's, and don't do some degenerate shit like start trading 200x leverage to to go
To
broke,
make
but
yourself uncomfortable.
uh, you know, you,
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things
but
that are uncomfortable that you should just avoid, but yeah, I get what you mean. Uh
but maybe for you, it's like, hey, maybe for you getting uncomfortable starting to trade crypto, and starting with a little crypto portfolio of $100 and seeing what you run up to, because it's not something you do, and it's sucking time out of your day. But I guarantee you probably got 20 minutes a day you could spend trying to learn to trade crypto.
yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about before I end the podcast?
Man, I've had a great conversation, man. It was really fun. We got to do this again sometime, where you got to come on the morning show sometime and vibe with us, or definitely come kick it in the Discord one day. It'd be fun to have you in there trading your stuff while we're trading our stuff.
What time zone is it? 10 a.m. What time zone is Missouri?
Eastern, so it's kind of early
Oh,
for you.
okay.
Uh, I'm Central, but we always say Eastern just because that's kind of universally accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
Especially
run
in
the morning
trading.
show at 10 a.m. Yeah, no, for sure. Um, but yeah, we run the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then what might be a little more friendly for your time zone is 10 p.m. We run the Moon show, and one of the guys that's part of my team, Quicks, he runs that one. It's kind of late for me. Around this time, I'm generally usually winding down and sleeping for a few hours and
Yeah.
stuff, but every now and then you'll catch me in there. Um, but but yeah, so I'd love to have you come on either one of those and come vibe with us. 7 days a week we're there.
Can I just go on your Twitter and I would just be able to join by clicking on your uh the little link or whatever, the icon, right? Or do you have to be part of?
Yeah, man, you got to get in Twitter Spaces. So you can anybody can listen in. It's like a podcast. There's no video. It's just audio. And then if you have, as long as you're logged into your Twitter account, you can raise your hand, and we can pull you up into the conversation. We can have up to 10 speakers at once. So
Oh, I see they're
if you
live.
show up, I'll always make sure.
They're live right now. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, the moon shows.
There's 42 people in there. That's crazy. Do you do that every
Yeah, we get popping.
you do that one every day also? So you do two a day?
Yeah, Monday to Friday for that one.
Okay.
He's
Even
only Monday to Friday. We tell him he's a little lazy.
lazy. Yeah, that's even that is a lot. Yeah, that's awesome though. I'll this week, because if I don't do it this week, I'm probably not going to do it. So I'll try to set time aside this week to join one
Sweet,
and see what it's about.
that'd be awesome, man.
I probably wouldn't talk because I don't have anything to talk about, but I'll definitely listen. Um,
Well,
cool.
the thing is, we like to evaluate all markets if somebody has knowledge on it, because the stock market and global markets are going to affect crypto. So it's
True.
not our expertise. We're not going to trade it. But if you got some knowledge on it, we want to learn. And who knows? Maybe one day we like I don't have enough liquidity where I have to expand out of crypto. But I hope that's not always the case, right? So like one day I might want to start trading other stuff.
So I guess likewise for me. I like to think I'm open minded, so I don't want to be closed minded to the fact that I'm only going to trade S&P futures. Um,
Hmm.
I'm actually new to it the past like 9 months since this year started. Oh,
Oh, nice.
actually no, since October last year, so almost a year now. Um,
That's
but
what's up.
yeah, um, cool. Well, it's been. I've also
If you make it a year though, man, most people can't,
exactly
and
yeah.
that's tough to trade too. I
I've also had really fun on this conversation. Like I said, twice now, three times that like I didn't expect, you know, this to be
Yeah.
as good as it was. Which hopefully you don't take that as an insult. But there's a lot of degens in crypto.
No, no, man. I get it, man.
Yeah,
Most people, like I'm the type of person. Anything I do, I become a student of. You know, like when I played poker, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I can figure out how to make money just because I fully immerse myself in anything. So like when I played poker, I'd play 8 to 10 hours a day, but then I'd go
holy
home
crap.
and spend 2 hours in the forums dissecting hands and stuff like that. Same thing with trading. Now the beauty of trading is me and all the homies can trade together, and my trading mentors can tell me I'm doing something wrong in real time, which made it a lot easier. The learning curve for trading, I feel like, is actually easier than poker, to be real, thinking it out loud, just for that reason. But it's so yeah, it's just it's not offensive, man. Most people I meet in crypto just don't like my circle just because of how serious we are. We're not here for the fun and games. We're here to make money. We want to learn how to make money in this space. And if what we're doing isn't making money or as much money as we see somebody else making, we want to learn how to do it. A
Hmm.
lot of people in crypto are here for fun and games because it's fun when you're making money, and they know it's gonna come back, or they're thinking that the bull run's gonna come back with the happening, so like they're hanging out for it. But like I'm not gonna be passive. Like I don't show up every day to the show for fun. I show up every single day so we can get a grip on the market and figure out the game plan. If I just said, you know what, I'm sick of the community, I don't want to have this conversation live. Me and my five homies, at least, are going to be in the Discord having the exact same conversation, figuring out the market. So like and that's why I can do it every day. It's no change for my lifestyle. I just have the conversation live, and so. It's like, yeah, I'm not offended, man. Most people don't have that dedication to any craft, but
Hmm.
in crypto in particular, it's a lot of young guys that were right time, right place, and they're still hanging on to that. Like I've met guys that live in their mom's basement, and they turn down six-figure offers on their NFT because it's undervalued still and it's for the culture. I bought the same NFTs for $700 and sold it for 30 G's 2 months later. Because $700 and 30 G's to me is a difference maker in my life. So like,
Yeah, that's a
it's
lot.
yeah. Most people don't have our mindset, man. You're very unique in yourself. I can tell you're a student of trading and all that good stuff as well too.
I appreciate that. Um, so if anyone wants to join your spaces, it's just uh, CNC every day on Twitter. That's where they should go, right?
Yeah. Yep. CNC every day, or they can follow me. Close some sales. But the coffee and crypto page is the one that hosts it.
Awesome. Well, um, it's been fun talking to you, and like I think a lot of people will get a lot of insight from this and hearing because like you have a lot of life experience. It sounds like so like people like that are I feel like always can that it's the best people to have conversations with. Um, so thanks again,
It was fun, man. I appreciate having me on.
and hopefully you can get some sleep before you wake up at 2 a.m. for your training.
But I actually got the chart on one. I don't have it, but I can see like the Bitcoin price on one of my tabs and stuff. But I was like, man,
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna enter short here when we get off this.
and yeah, you gotta start it with
But
the trade and end it with the trade.
that's not. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty epic. Let me look here. Maybe I can enter it real time before we wrap this up. Oh man, I'm gonna be patient. I'm not gonna rush into this. Never mind.
That's
it,
okay. Yeah, you don't have to. I'm not gonna make you. I'm not gonna peer
it was
pressure.
close though.
I'm not gonna peer
But
pressure
I
you.
will say I'll call it live on the air today as 9/11/2023 at 10:48 Eastern. I am looking to short Bitcoin at 25,218 and with about 144x leverage and probably scrape about 30% on the trade before I close it out. So we can backtrack this in the morning and verify if that was a good trade or not.
Wait, did you say long or short?
Short.
Okay, short. Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking to catch the top of what'll probably be this pump over the next 15 to 30 minutes.
Well, do you want me to edit it out if you're wrong?
No, no, if I'm wrong, throw it on there. We call out a live trade every day on our show, or we try to. So like we say, share your profits or share your losses. Like I uh, I shared a soul loss for 100% not too long ago because
A
the
hundred
sell off was so
percent.
quick. My stop loss.
I guess if you're
Yeah, and granted, I was not my whole. It wasn't
okay.
my whole portfolio, but that particular position, the stop loss moved so fast. It moved so fast, my stop loss didn't trigger. So it,
Oh,
it just wiped out the whole trade. We lost $2 on Solana. So Solana was like 19 bucks, I think, at that point in time. We lost $2 in a 1 minute candle. So like there, you couldn't do anything. But it was just like, yeah, but it was a good teaching moment because that's why you have your sizing in case something like that happens. Because like we got guys in our group that we preach it to them that like we're aggressive. We say 10 to 20 bullets, 10 to 20 position sizes, and that's very aggressive. But we have guys that try doing it with two, and it's like it doesn't work. Because you can lose that on one trade. So yeah, I'll share the losses, man. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is.
I like that. Yeah, we need more transparent people. Um, and I'm gonna end this before we keep going on multiple
Yeah, for
multiple
sure.
tangents. So
We'll
thank
do
you
it again
again.
though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or at least like next year or something. So thank you again, and then everyone
Love
who,
you.
who
Yeah, do
stay
the other
tuned,
follow up. Love you tight.
and everyone who's watched to
Uh,
the end. Thank you, and see you next time.